Hi kids! Welcome to our lesson for today. So, last time we had talked about how Elijah died and how God took him up to heaven. Yes. So a chariot of fire pulled by fiery horses came down and then wind came and took Elijah up, and Elisha saw all of this happen and how Elijah's greatness and power went to Elisha because he was faithful to what God had told him to do, which was to be a helper to Elijah and a companion to Elijah.
Yes, and so now exactly that until the end.
Yes. So now Elisha had the greatness and power of Elijah.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about something completely different. We are going to go back to King Ahab. Remember, we said that God decided that he was not going to kill King Ahab at that time, but because King Ahab had repented and turned back to God, he decided that he was going to let him live a little while longer. So now we're going to see what happens to King Ahab after this. So remember, Israel had been split into two. The northern kingdom, which was Judah, and the southern kingdom, which was Israel. And when the two kingdoms had been split, there was war and fighting between the two kingdoms. They were always fighting. And King Ahab was able to solve this by having his daughter marry the king of Judah, and his name was Jehoshaphat. So the king of Judah had now become family to King
the
Ahab.
King of the southern part, who was Ahab.
So now there was peace.
Because it was one family now. So now there was peace because Jehoshaphat and Ahab were family, and so they were not fighting
anymore. So one time King Jehoshaphat went down to Samaria, which was what King Ahab had made the capital city. So he went down to visit King Ahab. And when King Jehoshaphat arrived, King Ahab looked at him and said, "Please, will you and your army help me to reclaim Ramoth of Gilead from my old enemy Syria?" Because King Jehoshaphat had fought a lot of battles against Syria
and he had won. So Ahab felt that King Jehoshaphat was a good person to help him fight the people of Syria because he had won against them before.
So when King Jehoshaphat heard this, he said, "Yes, me and my army will help you fight." But King Jehoshaphat really loved and revered God. So he decided to tell King Ahab, but first, let us seek God's advice.
We have to know what God says about this whole thing. And then King Ahab was excited and he said, yes, it's okay. We're going to hear what God said. So he called all the prophets in his palace. Now, all these prophets were kept in luxury and they were given everything they wanted by the king. They had a
very nice and comfortable life. When they wanted food, they got food. They had everything that they wanted because the king kept them very, very well. Happy.
King Ahab had kept them very, very well. So when King Ahab called for all these prophets, they came and they stood
excitedly and quickly.
And then King Ahab asked them, "What do you think? What does God say about this? Should we go and recover Ramoth of Gilead? Should we go and recover Ramoth of Gilead from the Syrians?" And then the prophets all agreed and told him, yes, go.
Go. They were very excited. They said, yes, go. God will give you
God will actually do it. You're going to get the victory.
Win this for you. If you go. But these prophets, when they came to meet King Ahab and King Jehoshaphat, it was at the city gates. There was a big crowd and they really wanted to please the king. So they told him that he should go and he would win the battle. But King Jehoshaphat was not convinced. He was not convinced by these prophets because it looked like they were telling the king what he wanted to hear. So then
he did not buy all the things that the prophets
what they were saying.
So he thought, no, I don't think this is the right thing. So King Jehoshaphat asked King Ahab, "Don't you have any other prophet
who will tell you the true message of God? Don't you have anyone who will tell you the true message?" Then King Ahab looked and he said, there's Micaiah, but I don't like him because he always tells
the wrong thing. He always says says the bad things
He
that I
always
do
says
not
bad
want to
things are
hear.
going to happen. Then King Jehoshaphat looked at him and said, do not say that. We want to hear
What
God's
God has to
message. We
say
want to hear
about
what God
this.
has to say.
Yes.
So then King Ahab agreed, and he sent someone to go and get Micaiah. But among those other prophets who were there, there was one prophet called Zedekiah. Now Zedekiah had made horns out of iron.
Now they looked like ram's
They looked
horn.
like ram's horns, and he wore those horns, and he kept on running around and butting heads angrily like an angry ram, and he would hit everything and everyone, and he kept shouting, this is how we will win. This is how you will win. This is how you will win. And all of the other
creating a scene.
And all of the other prophets also shouting and excitedly, and they were all shouting and making noise.
Going to win. So they were all agreeing with what Zedekiah was saying, that this is how you're going to win. And then prophet
when Micaiah was
came,
brought, Zedekiah looked at him and said, do as we have done, do as the rest of us have done.
Yes.
Tell the kings that God is going to give them victory. So then Micaiah looked at Zedekiah and said, I swear in God's name that I will speak the
only
truth.
the truth and
only
nothing
the truth,
but
nothing but the truth.
Yes.
So then Micaiah was brought in front of the kings, and
Yes.
King Ahab asked, should we attack Ramoth of Gilead?
Yes.
And then mockingly, Micaiah stood and he said, go and attack. Then King Ahab looked at him and said, tell the truth.
Yeah.
And then when King Ahab said this, Micaiah looked at him very seriously and sadly. And then he slowly told the king, if you go and attack Ramoth of Gilead, then the people of Israel will be scattered.
Will be like scattered sheep.
Sheep on the hill, and you will lose the battle.
And everyone is going to die. All the army, all the army that will go to that war are going to be killed in that war. So all of them are going to die, and the people will be scattered like sheep without a shepherd on the hills. Yeah, so that was the message that Micaiah gave, and that is not what King Ahab wanted to hear. But Micaiah stood for what was true. He stood for the message that God had given, and that is what was the truth. All these other prophets were giving their own things, and they were only saying what the kings or what King Ahab wanted to hear. So they told King Ahab, yes, go and fight. You're going to
him
win.
Happy.
And that is what was making King Ahab happy at that time. But in the end, it was not the truth. But what made Prophet Micaiah came and said is not what King Ahab wanted to hear, but that was the truth.
Yes, so children, remember, one of the 10 commandments is that we should not lie.
Yes.
And that is what Micaiah did. Micaiah went, and even though everything around him, everyone had lied to the king, and he knew everyone had lied, and he knew that what he was going to say was going to be very sad and upsetting to the king, he still told the truth, just like it says in the 10 commandments. So us as children of God, we need to remember that we should tell the truth always, because that is what God has commanded us to do.
Yes, always stand with the truth, even if you're the only one standing with the truth. As long as that's the truth, then that is what God wants you to do.
Yes.
So now we're going to sing a song. So I want us to all stand up and be able to sing our song. So let's all stand up and sing this song.
Okay, kids, it's time for us to sing our song. Now, we've just talked about how all of the prophets told King Ahab lies, but Micaiah told him the truth no matter what. And how him doing this is him obeying the 10 commandments. So to remind us of all of the 10 commandments, we're going to sing our song. So everyone stand up and help us sing this song. Number 1, we've just begun. God should be first in your life. Number 2's the idol rule. Those graven images are nice. Number 3, God's name should be never spoken in jest. Number 4, the Sabbath for our worship and for rest. Number 5, we all should strive to honor father and mother. Number 6, don't get your kicks from killing one another. Number 7, life is heaven when you're true to your mate. Number 8, don't steal and break these rules for goodness sake. Number 9, don't be the kind who goes around telling lies. Number 10, don't covet when you see your neighbor's house or wife. That's the list, and God insists we stay Okay, kids, it's time for us to do our craft. Now, we've just come from talking about how all the other prophets told lies, but Micaiah came and told the truth, even if it was not what King Ahab wanted to hear, and even if it was a very sad truth, he still was brave enough to tell the truth, like it says in the 10 Commandments. So for our craft, we're going to write down all of the 10 Commandments on a hat, so that we remember that we should have all of the 10 Commandments in our heart, so that we don't break any of them. And we're going, because the lesson today was about do not lie, when we get to the 9th commandment, which is do not lie, we're going to write that one in a different color to remember that on that day Micaiah did not lie. He told the truth. So get your pens and your pencils, and we have a manila paper that we've cut into the shape of a heart, and this is where we're going to put down our 10 commandments. Then we're going to put a ribbon so we have a handle, so we can hang this in our rooms, around us, wherever we are, so that we can always remember all the 10 commandments and remember that we should not lie. Okay, so we're going to write down the 10 commandments first. I think I'm going to write my 10 commandments in pink, and then do not lie will be in a different color. So the first commandment is going to be on one corner. So that one is no other God. And then the second one, no idols. Then number 3, do not misuse God's name. Number 4 is honor the Sabbath. And number 5, honor your father and mother. Then now we're going to go to the other side of the heart. So one side of the heart has the first 5, then the other side of the heart has 6 till 10. So number 6 is no murder. Number 7, no adultery. Number 8, do not steal. Number 9 is do not lie, and because that one was what was in our lesson today, we need to write that one in a different color. So change pens or use a highlighter or make it different. Just make number 9 different. And so it says do not lie. And then go back to the original color, and then we write down number 10, do not covet. So now we have all of our 10 commandments written down. And I'm going to take my red color, and I'm just going to color my entire heart red, just to decorate it. You can color the heart different colors, but I want mine to be red. Once you have your whole heart colored however you want to color it, now we're going to take a stapler and we're going to staple on our handles. So just take your ribbon and your stapler, staple one side, staple the other side, and we're done. Now we have our hearts that we can go hang somewhere, and they have our 10 commandments which we remember to keep. And remember, in this story we learned that we should not ever lie.
Yeah, and we should not break any of the commandments, because the other prophets lied, so they broke all the commandments, because the Bible says when you break one, you have broken all. So the prophets that lied actually broke all the commandments. But the one prophet that remained true and said the correct thing, which was what God was saying, then he did not lie, so he kept the commandments. So that's our lesson today. I hope your craft is as beautiful or even more
beautiful.
Yes. So until next time, we'll see you.
Bye.